Chef, I have to ask this. I'm actually just learning about everything you've done. When I met you, you were very down to earth. You were easily approachable. My perception of chefs who have achieved what you have achieved are usually it's someone who's very difficult to approach. How come you were able to develop that kind of personality that you're easily approachable, and you even explain? I remember that the time we were eating, you were even explaining the ingredients, and it was very casual. I didn't feel like this is someone who's established so many restaurants.
It probably comes from maturity or just
A few years ago, it wasn't like
and I guess being secure in what I do, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Being confident in what I do. It's like,
that's true.
I'm gonna make burgers, but I'm gonna make the best damn burgers that are out there. I'm gonna do the, you know what I mean? It's all simple things, and realizing that people from day to day eat simple food. They don't eat this extravagant food all the time.
That's true. That's true. And honestly, the people who are accomplished are the ones who are the most modest. Because I actually know someone who just started a small kiosk. He put it in a mall, and he's already calling himself a chef. So
people go through stages in their career. I went through an idealistic phase as well, where it was like, no, it's only the way I do it is the best way and the only way. And when you get over yourself and you realize that, you know what, there's a million different ways to do things. I'll remember one day I was watching one of the kitchen porters in Sala restaurant.
Yeah.
He's like the dishwasher.
Oh,
I was watching him peeling shrimp, and I'm like, I have never seen anyone peel shrimp that way. But it was faster.
It was faster.
And it worked really well. Like, he stuck the end of the fork in, and he just went like that, and all the shells, and it was like perfectly clean. I was like,
oh yeah,
I have never seen that before. And I'm like, you can learn something from anyone.
That's true.
In any situation. And if you're big-headed, you'll be like, that's wrong, stop doing that. But if you look at it and you go, that's awesome, I'm going to take that with me.
That's true. I hope we can replay that on once we edit. That you can really learn something from anyone, from
anywhere,
and just don't be too conceited, thinking that you know everything, and that's an amazing lesson, especially for people who are just starting out.
Yeah. I'd already been cooking for 20 years when I saw him do this, and I was like, wow, 20 years and nobody showed me that. That's awesome.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love what you just said, and I hope the young ones, the millennials, the Gen Z, you guys can hear that modesty is very important in life, especially once you're progressing. Because if you're not open-minded, you're gonna think your way is the only way.
Well, think about how small your world is if you don't open up your mind.
That's true. That's true. That's very
if
true.
you don't open up your mind, all you're going to have is barriers and barriers and barriers, because that's all you know.
That's true. Chef, you should also be a life coach. It works. I think you're a life coach in the kitchen. Right?
I do my best. Like, for people who've stayed with me for a long time, I do my best to mentor them and push them in the right directions as well. I've had people come to me, Chef, I want to get a job in Australia. And I'm like, okay, if you're serious about this, let's do this the right way.
That's cool. And I'm sure a recommendation from you will go a long way.
It's not just that, but it's once they work in my kitchen, generally the headhunters will grab them straight away.
Wow.
Which is hard for me. But if they've spent time in my kitchens, the headhunters will grab them because they know that they've had proper training, at least.
These people have caliber.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So what happens is I'll tell them, look, you're going to go to Australia.
Yeah.
Sure, but don't just jump at the first job they're going to give you.
Okay.
Because when you do, you're going to be tied to that job as part of your visa. So if you're going to be in the middle of nowhere, deep frying fish and chips, I said, you're going to hate life after 6 months.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So I tell them, so as soon as they tell me, okay, chef, they've found me this job. Here's the name of the place. I'm like, all right, sit down. Let's Google it.
Okay.
I said, I pull up the menus. I pull up
Yeah.
the restaurant. I pull up reviews. I'm like, okay, does this look like the kind of restaurant that you want to work at?
That's cool. At least you really show them, right? At least they really get to see.
And they'll be like, and I'm like, look, this restaurant that they're putting you,
Yeah.
it's in a resort town. You're 4 hours away from the nearest city.
You know,
Is that the kind of life you want? Or do you want to be in amongst it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you want a quiet life out in the middle of nowhere? Or do you know? And
Yep,
I don't tell them this is right, this is wrong.
You
Just show them what they're in for.
Yeah, just show them what their decision when it pans out, what's going to happen. Wow, it's amazing. I think
I want them to do. I don't want them to end up there and then come back here after 6 months and go, oh, I didn't like it there.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, do that if you gave it a fair chance.
All right. That's cool. That's there was this thing on the internet. They were showing what's the difference between a leader and a boss, and I think you definitely fall into that leader status. You know, you do it by action, and then you really show them. And the most important thing when you're talking, it really sounds like you really care for the people who work under you.
Look, if I can't do what I'm doing without them,
that's true.
So I have to care about them.
That's true. So all the guys under Chef Carlo, you guys are very, very lucky. Chef, is there? Sorry to put you on the spot, but I'm just wondering for the young ones, for all the subscribers who are watching, and they want to get into the culinary world. Is there a school that you would recommend, or
there's a few that I work with and have contact with.
Okay.
One is iScam.
Okay.
ISCHAM, something like that.
iScam. Okay.
Yeah. International School for Hotel and Restaurant Management.
Okay. So that's one school.
They have branches. They have one in Katipunan. Then they have Pampanga and they have Cebu, I believe.
Okay. So the caliber of education in that.
It's very good. It's set up by a foreign chef. He used to be the executive chef of the Mandarin and of the Shangri-La years ago, and he's based here now. His name's Norbert Gandler.
Okay.
He has worked with me hand in hand before when I'm actually the coach for the national culinary team as well.
Okay, wow.
So when the Philippine team competes overseas, I'm the coach.
Wow.
So Norbert was helping me as the senior advisor for the last time when we won the best overall team in Singapore in 2016.
All right. So there's a chance that they might see you if they go to iScam?
Depends, but you know, I don't go out there too much. It's really difficult getting to Katipunan.
Yeah,
but
the traffic as well.
And the other one I would recommend is Global Academy.
Global Academy. All right.
So those ones, some of their instructors are guys who have also been part of our culinary team. Yeah. Of the national culinary team Philippines.
So there's really competition.
Yes,
right?
There are many.
Wow.
Globally.
There's financial remuneration, I'm sure?
No, there's no financial remuneration. It's trophies. It's all
the recognition.
Accolades. It's recognition, yeah. I used to compete until 2009 myself. So I was part of the national team myself until 2009.
Is it like an athlete where it's so stressful that you?
Yes, it's training. It's stressful. It's practice. So when we say I'm doing practice for a competition, I'm doing competition training. Yeah, you are replicating the competition arena in your own kitchen, like the layout of the kitchen they're going to give you there. You replicate it. You replicate bringing your ingredients the way you would bring your ingredients to that competition. Then you do your timed run of the dishes. You have a checklist of things you want. You have a coach or a help or an assistant with you that's going to make sure you're on schedule. Is going to be barking at you the whole time. Wow. 5 minutes gone. This should be in the oven. Wow. You know what I mean? And you're running it like that. I did that. My last international competition was in Hofex in Hong Kong.
All right. So you're the
But that was 2009. After that, retired.
Okay, after 2009. So when you coach, it's to acquaint them, it's to get them acclimated to competition.
Well, for one, yes, but the guys that I'm coaching are actually already have competed.
Okay.
And they're probably winners of the competition here locally, which is the Philippine Culinary Cup.
All right.
But what I'm also doing is giving him a judge's feedback because I'm also an international accredited judge by World Chefs.
Gotcha. Wow.
So
Chef, your resume.
I do that. I do judging. Like my last international judge was a competition in Malaysia in April.
Okay. Wow. All right. So many hats, Chef. So I mean, yes, you are a chef, and it's well within the.
Well, I'm also a board of director of the local chefs association.
Wow. How do you have time to do
other things? That one suffers. I get a lot of grief from my from the other board members sometimes when I don't show up for meetings.
All right.
You know, so in the corporate world, sometimes if there's an important client or something or an important presentation that has to be done, sometimes I can't go to the meeting.
Wow, Chef, I have to thank you. You know what? You're so busy. You gave us time.
Absolutely.
I mean, hearing all these things. But aside from your culinary background, I just want to delve real quick to.
No worries. I've got time. I have time. Don't worry.
I remember you were saying that you were in a reality TV show back in the day. So what was this reality TV show?
So I went on the first season of Biggest Loser Asia.
Okay.
So
how was that? How was
the
that?
Gag orders and the non-talking stuff has already ended. It ended 5 years. 5 years after.
5 years after.
I can talk about it now.
All right. So you joined that. What year was that?
We went into the house in October 2009.
Okay.
And the show finished by March 2010.
All right. So you went to the house. You can't go out. You're just locked in there. Yeah.
Think prisoner of war.
Prisoner of war. All right.
So I arrived in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
Someone picked me up from the airport.
Okay.
Immediately took my phone and my passport.
Wow.
And brought me to this house.
But this was a Philippine production or it was a Malaysian production?
It's Biggest Loser Asia. So it was produced in Malaysia by a Singapore production house.
Oh,
so it was filmed in a place called Malacca, and they were running film to Singapore 2-3 times a week.
All right, gotcha. For editing. Wow, I can imagine the stress. I can imagine the what's the criteria there? Of course, it's going to be weight loss. I mean,
absolutely, and it was purely about weight loss.
Purely about weight loss. And how was the stress on your body at that time?
Well, I was a lot younger now than I am now, so it seemed. It's funny. It felt really bad at the time, but they kind of eased us into it.
Yeah,
and I guess we're all competitive people, so that's why we kept upping the ante ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we started out working out 4 hours a day, which was like 2 hours in the morning.
2 hours.
Then you rest for 5-6 hours, and then you go back and do 2 hours in the afternoon.
Wow.
Then you go home and you have dinner, and then you get an early night, and then you wake up again the next morning. You do another 2 hours, and then 2 hours in the afternoon.
How intense were the workouts?
Looking back on it, they were pretty tame at the start.
At the start?
Yeah, I mean, because there were a lot of really big people in that room.
Okay.
Me being one of them, of course.
Yeah.
But it felt intense, but looking back on it, it was pretty tame.
Pretty tame in the beginning, but it gradually got more difficult.
Every week it got harder and harder. So like after the first week, soon it became 3 hours morning, 3 hours afternoon.
Wow.
I got to the stage where I was in the gym 12 hours a day.
12 hours a day?
Well, you can't call your family. You have no contact with the outside world. You can't watch TV. You can't listen to the radio. You can't see a newspaper. They put you in a bubble, so there's nothing else for you to do
but exercise
and eat right.
So when you say 12 hours a day, are you on the treadmill? Are you taking breaks and then just hit the weights?
At the end, it was cardio.
It was cardio.
Just all cardio. So...
So you became very competitive.
So it got to the point where I mean, in the show, there's a blue team and a red team.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
I was in the red team. It got to the point where there was 6 people from the blue team left, and I was the only person from the red team left.
Wow.
So I had like one-on-one training with my coach.
Okay.
So she synced my heart rate monitor to her watch. She'd just be like,
checking all the time.
she'd just be like, yeah, too low now. Get back on the treadmill and run another 5K.
Wow. How much weight did you lose at that show?
So we were in Malaysia from October until December. I came home in December 24.
Okay.
In that phase, I lost about 120 pounds.
Wow. I think that's Lester's weight. I'm sorry. Lester, what's your weight? 120?
Yeah, 120.
So I lost the Lester
He lost.
in about 2 months.
You lost.
Actually, it was 78 days. I counted.
Wow.
There was nothing else to do.
Would you do it again? Is this something that...
Absolutely not.
Yeah. It's
The imbalances that it created in my body afterwards,
yeah.
It's not worth it. Like right now,
Mm-hmm.
I can eat 800, 900 calories in a day and still gain weight.
Oh, all right. So your metabolism is some...
Well, what happens is, and there's been, I've looked into it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's been some scientific studies that I've read
Okay.
afterwards that if you lose weight that drastically, your body fights to go back to where it was.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
yeah, so now I gain weight like that.
all right, but your heart's okay. Everything's because that's 120 pounds. Wow.
So I went into it on blood pressure maintenance and cholesterol maintenance. And I came out of it without any, which is a good thing.
That's true, and they really have medical teams on that show, and
There was one doctor.
there's
It was a pretty shoestring budget. I've seen the scary side of TV.
That's true. That's the same thing we got from one of the guests we had here.
Let's just say this looks very professional.
Oh, thank you. Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you.
You know, it was to a point where I was tired, and I just look at the producer and I'm like, let's just get straight to the point. Tell me what you want me to say.
All right. So the reality TV didn't have much reality in it.
Scripted reality. So what they do is they sit you down once or twice a week in front of a camera with one of the show's producers there.
Yep.
And they ask you a series of questions.
Yeah.
And of course, the questions they ask you are trying to bait you to say something, so they have their soundbite.
That's true.
Correct.
So all leading questions.
All leading questions, of course. And
Gotcha.
So you realize when you don't give them the answer you want, they bounce back to that question in a different way, like 4 or 5 times. And I'll just be like, hey, just cut it. What do you want me to say? And they'll say, I need a sound bite for this. And I'm like, I'm never saying that.
Oh, so they're trying to trip you up. They're trying to
absolutely. They play on your emotions. The only time I got to see, I got to Skype with my wife was because it was great it was great TV. It was for her to tell me she was pregnant.
And so that's why they put it on.
That's the only reason
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's really something you wouldn't consider doing again.
Probably not. No.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So Lester, I think you should pull your application for Pinoy Big Brother. It's not a good thing.
Yes.
Hey, it might be better here. This was Malaysia after all.
So
I can't speak for the production companies here because I haven't done anything on the local scene.
Yeah. Wow. So that's amazing for you to really be able to stay there. You won it, right?
No, I came second.
You came second. Oh, that's still good.
Not monetarily.
So everything went to the winner.
I got nothing.
Oh, all right. So there's no prize for the guys who don't finish on top. All right. Wow. So this was in 2009, right?
Yeah. 2009. I went back for the final weigh-in in March 2010.
2010.
So there's actually an at-home phase after I came home in December. The 4 final contestants were supposed to go back to their everyday lives and come back in March for a final weigh-in. So you're supposed to try and lose more weight, or try and maintain, or try and do this. And I went back into running 2 kitchens, which I was doing before I left.
Yes.
But also working out 6 hours a day. So I'd be awake at 5 in the morning. I'd go to the gym for 3 hours.
It's
rush to the restaurant to get there for lunch service.
Yeah.
by about 2 p.m. when lunch service was winding down, I'd put my gym clothes back on and run to the gym.
Wow.
Through Makati, through Ayala Avenue to my gym in RCBC.
Yes. I remember the gym there. Yes, I do remember. And
I was sponsored by Fitness First at the
yes,
time. And they were very kind to give me free gym membership for 3 years after the show.
Okay. This was the gym with the pool inside, right?
Yes. And I used that pool quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I go back there and do another round of 3 hours of training. And they gave me a personal trainer while I was here and all of that.
That's good.
They even gave me a nutritionist who was really, really kind to me.
Wow. Okay. So in that show, at least, would you say that somehow you learned how to, I mean, physically just do the exercises?
I learned, but I learned by this. It was kind of like the trainer or the nutritionist saying, "This is what you should do, but here, just please don't eat less than this, otherwise you might die."
Wow. That's I can imagine the how you were doing it, just your day to day.
I wasn't even when I was working in the kitchen. I was tasting food and spitting it in the garbage.
Wow. So you don't want the calories, you don't want to gain the weight.
I taste it, make sure it's right, spit it out, wash my mouth, go to the next thing.
Okay. So going on such a stringent physical regimen is really not recommendable, right?
No, you should really do it slowly. And like I had a lot of hanging skin afterwards as well.
Yeah. So because right now everybody wants the fastest thing, right? They want the
short attention spans.
Yep. They want the 2-week program.
Yeah. Look, nothing's going to happen. Nothing good will happen when you rush it.
I like that. Chef, you should really be a life coach. That's true. That is very true. That's very true. And
I think you just learn from experience. You know, you live through things and.
Yep. Because right now everything is Instagram. You have to be Instagram ready. You have to be ready for social media.
Oh, I don't have much presence on social media.
Yeah, but the kids now, can you imagine the kids?
I know.
The pressure. Once
you gotta look good, right?
Yeah, I mean, once they start to grow up, become teenagers.
Well, I have an 8-year-old daughter at home, so I'm scared.
Yeah, I can imagine when back in the day when there was a fight in school, it's private, right? Nobody knew about it. Kids just talked about it. Now it's going to be uploaded.
Back in the day, you were like the hero for like 2 days if you want to fight in school, right? Now you'd be like the villain on social media for 2 weeks.
That's true, and you're gonna the infamy. You'll become very notorious and. And have you heard that if you apply for a U.S. visa now, they also investigate your social media for the, I think, past 5-10 years. So you have to open your social media once you have a visa application. So it just goes to show you the impact of
wow. I'm really blessed that I don't have to get a visa for the U.S.
Yeah, because they really they check everything. So
they wouldn't find much for me. So
yeah, so that's one of the lessons for all the young ones, the millennials and the Gen Z, or have plans in the future to apply for a visa. Please make sure that your
social media is clean.
Your social media is clean. If it's not, you guys better start to sanitize that social media, your Facebook or your Instagram.
Just put it in a different name.
Just put it in a different name. That's true. Just have a different handle name. Okay, Chef. So we've talked about your culinary and the reality TV show that you've made. Just on the culinary aspect.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of because I remember we had a comment and someone asking if we can do something with regards to the culinary industry. You've recommended the schools.
Yes.
You've discussed the ways on how to progress in the kitchen. Is there a dream job or how do I say this? Is there a dream job out there, or should they aim to be a chef of a certain place, or it's, as you said, just finding your way?
I think it's really personal, because what people want to get out of the industry is their own thing. I mean, I ask people a lot about that. They come to me for advice or jobs or something like that, and the first thing I'll ask them is, to what end? What do you want to achieve? Which way do you want to go? You know what I mean?
All right.
And then I'll try and advise them in the right direction.
Okay.
You know, even people who have come to me for job interviews, especially people I know, or one of my chef friends sent me his nephew, and I literally sat there with him for about an hour and a half, and I said, "Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?"
That person is so lucky. At least you were able. I mean, it's not every day you get good advice.
And I said, "Look, if you come work for me, this is what's going to happen. This is what I can offer you. This is what I can pay you. This will be your road. This will be your road for growth.
All right, that's the career path.
You know, this is how you can move forward.
All right,
if you perform.
If you perform, yes, if you perform, and you have to perform.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not realistic that you'll get offered a chef position immediately, right?
Like from graduating from school.
Yeah, or just being
graduating from school, you should really look to be a line cook.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
I would say look to be a line cook for minimum 4 or 5 years.
Okay, 4 or 5 years.
You need, because what they teach you in school is just a bunch of skills.
All right.
And it'll be a big jumbled mess in your head until you actually put those skills into practice day in, day out.
That's true. That's true.
Work as a line cook and don't rush that stage. Which a lot of kids nowadays, they want to rush that stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the rich ones. They'll be like, "Mom's going to open a restaurant for me." The problem is you're going to have a bunch of line cooks working for you that are going to take advantage of you. They'll take you to the cleaners because you don't know how to run your place yet.
Okay. So, all right. So out of school, that's what they should strive for.
Rich, poor, anyone. Get in there and work as a line cook.
And learn.
Learn.
Okay.
And learn about yourself. Like you cannot open a restaurant cooking stuff you learned in cooking school.
Okay.
You can't do that. Because everyone else knows it.
That's true.
Everyone else does it.
And I never saw it that way, but that's true. That's true.
So what you need to do is first learn and master the skills.
Yes.
Once you master skills, then you can start learning about yourself and your own style.
Gotcha.
Because cooking is about expressing yourself and creating your own style.
Got it.
So you need to master that. Okay. So while you're moving up from a line cook to a chef de partie to a sous chef, think about, and I would say don't open a restaurant until you at least worked as a sous chef or a head chef somewhere.
Okay. For any duration?
At least a year or two.
At least a year or two. Okay.
Because during that time as a head chef, you may not have your style complete yet.
Yeah.
The demands of being a head chef will mean that your style will have to come out.
All right.
Because people will be coming to you for new dishes, new recipes, specials, and all of that. And you've got to give them something, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And you can't just cut and paste something from your cooking school because people will be looking at it. It'll look lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to give them something. So once you start giving them, then you start developing your style.
That's true.
And I would say don't open a restaurant until you know who you are as a cook.
I like that. I like that. You really have to find your voice, right? You have to
absolutely.
You have to figure out who you are, right? Just like in business.
Yes, because people will only listen to you once. So you got to give them.
That's true.
You got to give them something.
Yeah.
When you've got the spotlight.
Okay. Wow.
And if you don't.
Yeah.
Then you'll probably lose it forever.
I like that.
If you give them something worthy, they'll keep checking back on you.
Wow. I like that. All right, chef. Wow, that was very insightful. But okay, I get the profession part, the academic, the school to the profession. What if someone starts or is able to watch this podcast and they research you and then they say, wow, that's someone I want to work so that's someone who I want to work for. Is there a certain path that they have to go through? How is it?
Send me a resume. Send me a resume.
Okay.
That's all.
Wow.
So you can send it to the food hall in SMR, 5th floor. You can send it to Foodo or Food by Davide Eldani
Okay.
in Shangri-La Fort.
Yep.
Or you can send it to Bench Cafe. We have in Greenbelt or in BGC.
In High Street. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll flash those. I think
there's many that I'm involved in. But
okay.
You can get a resume to any of my people.
Okay.
In general, I will see it.
All right. So they won't send it to an email address, but we'll just
we do it in person. I don't own a computer, by the way.
You don't?
No.
Wow. Well, you know what? Before you came here, I was thinking, well, I'm very cool because I don't have a phone. My phone doesn't really work, so that's why I was asking you if you could just text Lester.
Yeah, no worries.
But the fact that you don't have a computer,
no, I have a phone because I do a lot of my work on the phone. To monitor multiple, I think I have 65 kitchens under my watch to monitor that many different things.
Yeah, you do need a phone.
It's all on the phone. Like it's all on WhatsApp groups. You know
how do you met 65?
Yeah, all on WhatsApp. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I get updates. I get reports. It's real time. If something happens in one particular kitchen, I know about it immediately.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Then, if I have to interject and tell them how to deal with it, I will.
So I'm sure your day is like one problem after another, or one.
The higher up you get in the kitchen, is just problem solving.
Okay. Guys, did you hear that? The higher you get up in the kitchen, it's mostly problem solving.
Absolutely.
All right, Chef, thank you very, very much for coming.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure for you to take the time off your super busy schedule. You know, this was such a good podcast. Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chef.
It was great to be here. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Someone, please take me home.
Okay, let's go home.
All right.
So I hope.
So we can look at there we go. All right.
Okay. So for those who's still watching our Spill the Beans podcast, thank you so much. We really appreciated it.
Thank you, Chef. We learned so much from just the stories alone. We learned so much from how it is to be in the culinary industry.
Yes. So thank you guys for watching. My name again is Lester.
This is Paolo, and we'd like to thank our very special guest, Chef Carlo Miguel. Thank you very much, Chef. Thank you, Memory Keepers. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.